All right, Vol Nation, let's talk about Nico versus Joey and what their stats look like and their comparison of their styles and play and which one will truly be better for the Vols in the 2025 season. Not that it really matters. All right, so let's start with Nico. So last year, he had 213 completions on 334 attempts, 2,616 yards, 63% completion, 19 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 109 carries, 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. So while these stats seem like, okay, that's a good completion percentage, the yards are okay, the TD interception ratio is good, it also shows one very key feature, and that is the lack of aggressiveness or ability to push yourself. Nico was way too careful when he handled the ball, to the point where he actually caused himself to struggle even more and not produce the numbers that he needed to. Sure, we got some wins and we got to the playoffs and all that, but that's more predicated on Dylan Sampson and the defense. I will say Nico's strengths, he has great downfield arm strength. He has excellent athletic ability, quick release on throws at any level, whether that's medium, short, or downfield throws. He has very good pocket movement because of his athletic ability as well. However, his weaknesses, he's very, very hesitant to throw the ball downfield. And we saw why quite a few times, because when he throws the ball downfield, he is very bad at accurately judging and having good accuracy, especially on the longer throws that seem to be more straight down the field. He seems to he gets it over the defender's head, but he just can't put it right into the hands of the receiver that's 2 or 3 steps in front of the defender. He seems to just significantly overthrow it. And I think that is more due to his timidity, however you say that, because he's less inclined to wanting to throw an interception. He's more worried about throwing an interception than throwing a touchdown, is what I'm saying. He did not want to hurt his own stats, and I think that kind of might have shown a lot whenever he was throwing the ball, because those overthrows were something that would be very easily targetable and hittable by most quarterbacks, even some at lower tier levels. So I think that he actually cared less about throwing a touchdown, more about throwing an interception. He did struggle to read field settings and openings as well, especially at the medium level of crossing routes and some different levels routes as well. He is very timid in running as well. He ran out of bounds a lot early and he slid really early, and I get that that's probably more based on that he didn't want to get hurt. But I believe that also kind of played in his timidness in not wanting to hurt his own stats as well, and wanted to just or get hurt in general. He also held on to the ball way too long. I think that we really blessed him with our O-line, because they were able to give him a lot of time, but that time that he had, he did not play to his natural ability, his natural instincts, and I feel like if he had less time, he actually might have made some better throws, because he would have just been playing and throwing more naturally rather than forcing the throws down the field and sitting there waiting constantly for just the absolute perfect opening, because in reality, he had a lot of openings, but he sat there and held it too long, whether it was to get away from possibly throwing an interception or whatever it may be. I think that he just wanted to make sure that whoever the receiver was going to get the ball no matter what, and there was no chance of a defender getting around him in any way, and therefore he was holding on to it, waiting for these routes to develop to the maximum potential spot. However, because of that, he also got sacked a lot. He didn't take off running as quick as he should have as well, and I think he was looking to get more passing stats than he was rushing stats. I don't know. I can't really say that. Now, let's move on to Joey Aguilar. Okay, so his last year at App State, he was under a completely different style of offense as well from the previous year, which he had a much better year in 2023 than he did in 2024. But in 2024, he completed 218 passes on 390 attempts for 3,000 yards, 55.9 completion percentage, 23 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and 59 carries for 207 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he had better passing stats, and the ratios weren't as good. However, what I like about this, and what I think this fits well for Tennessee, especially in Heupel's offense, is it shows his aggressiveness to throw downfield and not to be worried about throwing downfield. And I think that that's going to be very prevalent and play well into Heupel's offense because, some of the strengths for Joey Aguilar, he's got quick release on the short and medium pass game, good arm strength for vertical threat, good arm strength, not great. Moves very fluidly in the pocket. He has a great back step, and he also has a great ability to set his feet and make good throws, even when under pressure. He has good speed for option gameplay, good pocket presence, and can sense when the pocket starts to break down as well. And most importantly, he has experience. He has 2 full years playing all of these teams under his belt. His weaknesses can also be his aggressiveness in throwing, which can cause a lot of the interceptions. He will throw into traffic even in unfavorable situations. He isn't the most athletic. Nico is definitely a lot more athletic than he was. His arm strength does lack a little with farther downfield throws, so we don't really have that true, insane Hail Mary deep threat kind of style. He does tend to stay locked onto one receiver and stare them down, which can be a very serious issue, especially playing against high caliber defenses. Very showing in whether he will run or pass. His play action is a struggle selling point. He kind of just jumps quick. He doesn't even really fake the handoff. He'll struggle early I honestly think that he will struggle early due to no springtime practice and not knowing the system, but Heupel is one of those guys that can get him caught up and ready to go very quickly and very proficiently as well. But one thing that Joey brings over Nico is he is not timid. He is very aggressive at throwing downfield, and I think that Heupel will use that to exploit a lot of teams. It will cause some back and forth because he will end up throwing some interceptions. He will end up possibly fumbling the ball, but I believe that it will cause more good than it will harm in Heupel's type of offense, which is that fast-paced no huddle, and that is the best place for those aggressive type of throws because you are already setting the defense on their back foot, so they have less time to actually react, which is better for aggressive throws because the less time you have to react, even if you are throwing into traffic, those plays may not be made, and at worst case scenario, they'll just be balls that get swatted down because the defenders are trying to catch up and trying to figure out what's going on very quickly, very explosively. Well, the offense is just churning and knows exactly what's happening back and forth, every single play. So Joey is going to be able to capitalize on his aggressiveness with this and cause a lot of confusion for the defense because they know he is going to throw the ball, and they know he's going to throw downfield. With Nico, it was a little bit, they could kind of sit back and play a little bit of zone and sit there because they knew that Nico was going to sit there and their defense would eventually get to, or the defenders would eventually, the D-line would eventually get to Nico and swallow him up in a lot of games. Now, Joey is very good at reading pocket breakdowns, though, which is going to be a huge asset for them because he's going to be able to know when to get out of there very quickly and when he's in very turbulent situations. So he'll be able to sprint out and get outside the pocket, whatever it may be, set himself. But another strength that I said is he is very good at setting his feet even when he is under pressure. So even if he has people chasing him down, if he finds somebody and he throws it and he hits that hole, he is still able to set his feet even when somebody is almost right on top of him from some of the film that I've saw on him, which is awesome because that is going to give a lot more openings to our receivers with the time in breaking down those zones that the defenses are going to run. Now, where I think he might struggle is when the secondary runs man-to-man coverage because he's going to have to fit it into those tight windows, and whenever they are whenever he is very aggressive in a man coverage kind of situation, that is going to be something that is going to be very hesitant for him possibly to do because those man situations, you're going to have the defender right on the receiver. I will give him one thing. He has shown to be very accurate, especially underneath routes and across the field, and even a little bit cross-body, cross-shoulder. He is actually very accurate and prevalent, but he has made some throws that have been thrown into 2, 3, even quadruple coverage, and that is cause for concern because that is almost too aggressive. But granted, I actually would rather have somebody who is a little bit more overly aggressive in hypo-style offense than somebody who is under-aggressive like Nico, because at least with the over-aggressiveness, you're going to be able to score quick, score fast, score often, and push the defense to their limits, especially in that no pace, Fast-paced, no huddle. Sorry, fast-paced, no huddle offense. So tell me what you all think and what how you guys would compare the two. And I honestly think that this is going to be something that's going to be really exciting to see. I think this can be a good step up for us, especially with somebody who has more experience in actually starting. And it's going to be his senior year, so he's going to have nothing to lose. He is going to go out there and play his absolute heart out and his absolute mind out, and he is going to do the best to carry the team on his back. Nico had a lot more to play for with how young he was and all this NIL stuff that he was trying to play and build himself up to. Joey doesn't have any of that, so he's going to go out there and he's going to absolutely bust tail, and he's going to do his best to dominate and just play for the best of his ability for Tennessee and to possibly make it to the draft as well. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please tell me what you all think about Joey versus Nico below, and until next time, we'll chat with you all later.